Welcome to another tutorial video. In this tutorial video I'm going to be going through how to perform a merge sort on this list of numbers. So the first part of the algorithm halves the list so that we get intermediate lists. So to do this first part we halve the list, so I've got 8 numbers here. So what I do is have one list here with 64, 14, 31, 84, 94 over here in the second list, 55, 71, 43. And those are my 2 intermediate lists. And then I halve each list again, so I get lists with 2 numbers in each list. So I get 64, 14, 31, 84, 94, 55, 71, 43. And then I halve each list again, so I effectively get 8 lists with 1 number in each list. So 64, 14, 31, 84, 94, 55, 71, 43. And this might look similar to you to the original list, but they're not all in one list. These are separate lists with 1 value in each list. And that's how the first part of the algorithm works. We split the list in half each time until we get 8 lists with 1 number in each list. Okay, so the second part of the algorithm, what we do is we merge each of the 2 values next to each other, so we get 4 lists. But when we do this, we decide which number is bigger and we sort them so that this time I'm going to do ascending order. So for the first one then, I compare 14 to 64, and I write 14 down and have 64 there. And then that's my first list with 2 numbers in it. So that's the first list. And then I compare 84 to 31. They're already in order. So I could just write 31, 84 like that. That's my second list with 2 numbers in it. And then I compare 94 to 55. Well, we swap those round because they're not in order. Then I compare 71 to 43, and we swap those round. So now we have effectively got 4 sorted sublists here. What we then do is merge each one of these 2 sublists that are next to each other. And the way we merge them is we compare the first number from each list and see which one's greater. And I'll show you how we do that now. So first of all I'm going to compare 14 to 31. And obviously 31 is greater than 14. So our first element in the list, because these 2 lists are sorted, is going to be 14. Then what we do, we can cross 14 out because we've already used it. We compare 64 to 31. And 31 is obviously less than 64, so 31 is our next element in the list. So cross 31 out. Then we compare 64 to 84. And 84 is obviously greater than 64, so just do 64 and then 84 like that because it's our last element in the list. 84 is our last element, so we can just put it on the end. So that is how we merge 2 lists together, and then we've got 1 sorted sublist here with 4 elements in. What I'm now going to do is do the same thing with the next 2 sublists with 2 elements in. So first of all I compare the first 2 elements, so 55 to 43, and I put 43 first because that's smaller than 55, and we cross that off. And then I compare 55 to 71, and I can see that 55 is smaller, so I write 55 next and cross that off. Then I compare 94 to 71, and I can see that 71 is smaller, so I put that next, cross that off. and 94 is our last element left over, so I can write that down at the end of the list. So what that leaves us with is two sorted sublists with 4 elements in each. Then we're going to merge these two together in exactly the same way, just give us a bit more space there, as we did with these sorted sublists with 2 elements in each, and we're going to form one list, sorted list with 8 elements in. So I'm going to employ exactly the same method. So I'm going to compare 14 with 43, and I can see that 14 is smaller, so I write that down first, cross that off. And then I compare 31 and 43, and I can see that 31 is smaller than 43, so I write that down first and cross that off. And then I compare 64 and 43, well I can see that 43 is smaller, so I write that down there and cross 43 off. And then I compare 64 and 55, well I can see that 55 is smaller, so I write that down, cross that off. Then I compare 64 to 71, and I can write that down, 64 down, because I can see that 64 is less than 71, cross that off. Compare 84 to 71, 71 is smaller, so write that down, cross that off. Compare 84 to 94, and write 84 down, because that's smaller, cross that off. And then 94 is our last element left over, so we put that on the end of the list. Then you can see that we've got a sorted list here, and we've obtained that by splitting the list up by halving the list each time here, so we get 8 lists with 1 element in each, and then merging them together until we get one sorted list with 8 elements in. Okay, thanks for watching.